we go about structuring a motion to get that done.
But I would like to
Yes.
have that in conjunction with the complete
Yes.
streets. I just wanted to be clear, that's what I was asking.
Okay.
Is to not limit ourselves to the information about parking meters in a context of study of parking, but also in a context of study of complete streets.
That's a big effort, but yes.
I agree, and it may come back that we have to take a different approach, but I'd rather try
Okay.
and at least get the information to Rebecca's point about whether it's possible to combine those rather than just make that decision.
Sure. Okay.
But,
So I'll withdraw the motion. Okay. All right. Does anyone want to make a motion?
I can try
Trustee
to
Mata.
direct staff to add to our prioritization for 2019, the issue of parking in the central business district in the context of complete streets planning, and to include additional information on parking meters. No, I can't.
I can't.
Okay, parking meters and
Yeah,
any
I-
regulatory changes that go along with it, correct?
I can direct staff to add to prioritization for 2019 the issue of parking in the central business district in the context of complete streets planning, including the review of parking meters.
Okay, but
Well, regulatory changes are, I think, are a necessity part of it. Gee, I made that great motion.
Second.
Yeah,
Second.
right.
I'll
Second.
second.
Can we make it as
Oh, let
simple as
Ann-
saying-
let Ann
And
second.
regulatory what?
Hers,
Regulatory what?
Ann.
any regulatory changes
I
or
think that's
proposed
included in
provisions?
the
Oh,
Ann's
okay.
the second.
I know.
I was
Second.
waiting for the refinements, yeah.
Second.
Do you want me to repeat it?
Yeah, Ann.
Yes.
Go ahead, I don't have it.
Oh, you went. It's already gone. Direct staff to add to prioritization for 2019, the issue of parking in the central business district in the context of complete streets planning, including the review of parking meters and any regulatory changes.
You have a motion, a second. I'd like to amend that. We on Monday took away $60,000, and one of the things that can fill that hole was to look at overnight parking. And I know, so that motion doesn't include that, and I just want to make sure that while we're looking at complete streets, we're looking at the parking regulations because in general, by 2019, we want to be able to vote on ways to make up the revenue in both of those situations, whether it's parking meters or permitting on the street, and I don't know how to do that. I don't want that to get lost,
This
so I
is
would,
limited to the central business district.
right, so I would like to amend the motion can you read it back in somewhere in there, right, to study central business district and overnight parking within the village. I don't know where it fits in the,
Probably just at the end.
okay. So if you could just read that.
Okay. Direct staff to add to prioritization for 2019, the issue of parking in the central business district in the context of complete streets planning, including the review of parking meters and any regulatory changes, and the study of overnight parking in the village.
No, I made the motion, she's made the amendment, so
That's
so
the
yes, we
amendment.
vote on her
We have to
amendment,
vote.
yeah.
Right.
Oh, right, I thought I
That
was.
was the amendment, yes. She
Yeah,
did
I
the
just was
amendment.
reading the whole thing back.
Okay.
That's the amended motion. Do I have a second?
What's the part of the NC amendment? Sorry to.
And the study of overnight parking within the entire village.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Trustee McKay.
I guess, studying overnight parking, because I think we've been talking, we need to have these conversations. But I kind of feel like part of what came up, you made a really good point about any changes we make in the business district will impact residential areas. So are we limiting ourselves? I mean, I think we just want to look at parking and how one affects the other. So it's residential and business district. And there was
Right.
consensus of that, for that during our prioritization process, but I just didn't get to a place of voting on it.
I think it's just adding more so I think the original motion does that.
Okay,
Right?
it'll look at residential and
Well, the original motion says, Oh, I see what you're saying.
The central business
Sorry.
district, because we do have like that very large area, you
Yeah.
know, the RCA zone.
Right.
Edgewood, which, you know, including Harcourt, we get requests from parking at Atwater and overflow into other neighboring streets, so that area is a big,
I understand what Trustee McCaig is asking. The motion that she would prefer, and I agree with her, is, and that's why I was concerned, is that she wants, correct me if I'm wrong, to look at complete streets and parking within our village, including overnight in the business district and how it affects the residential areas.
Residential.
And day, so it's the parking and the circulation in one. And I don't know that either the motion or the amended motion actually does that. Is that correct?
correct.
Okay,
Yeah.
so, if I redid my motion amendment, I could say,
And the study of all parking regulations in the village? Yeah. I'm not trying to overcomplicate it, but I mean, that's what it is.
Parking beyond.
And the study of all parking regulations in the village. Yeah.
sure, within that context, yes.
I'm sorry.
Within the complete
If
street
you were
context,
listening
yeah.
for myself.
Yeah, you did that, yes.
There's so many parking regulations.
Yeah, so it's complete streets, parking meter costs, and parking
And the study
regulations.
of all parking regulations in the village.
Sounds good, now reread it and I'll see if I have a second.
All right. Direct staff to add to prioritization for 2019, the issue of parking in the central business district in the context of complete streets planning, including the review of parking meters and regulatory changes, and the study of all parking regulations in the village.
I'll second that.
Okay, any further discussion?
So those two are our top two, moving forward in 2019. That's the key average, transportation and
Circulation and parking
and parking.
for initiatives of the four.
And what other ones, is this gonna bounce something else off our priorities?
We didn't adopt them initially, so
Yeah.
there's no buffer.
There's no wrong. Okay,
But I bet in the budget process, we'll probably direct staff to do some other things. If, you know, I'm just predicting, because we kind of do that.
it was the top two things of the four that, during our discussions and prioritization, that got the most votes.
Yeah,
That's- So
And this is
it's
just
not
2018,
bumping anything.
there are other years.
There are other, I do really
It's a
feel like there
process.
was a lot of consensus around this.
I do
And
too.
then, you know, the other, there was a lot of interest in 0% budget, and we're really looking seriously at accomplishing that this year.
Organization.
We don't have a policy in place, but we are making, you know,
Yeah.
dedicated effort to widen our discussion of budget and what we're willing to look at, so I feel like we're making progress outside of that.
Is there a vote?
I just have one comment from a resident. Just state your name again.
Darlene Altman, and I have a commercial property on the 1900 block of East Capitol Drive, so I assume that parking meters would be installed there if you are going to install them, correct?
On Capitol, I think we're looking at Capitol and Oakland, is that what?
I don't know how.
Yes.
Study. Well, first of all, there is, unlike Oakland, we do not have any large parking structures for people to park. I think it would be detrimental to my tenants, for their clients and customers to have to use parking meters, and therefore will be detrimental to me as a landlord to find new tenants. So I am not in favor of this. You need to raise money. I'm probably one of the few people who say, put it on the tax bill. Don't keep adding separate things.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Okay, so we have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. That was, I'm sorry, that was the amendment, and now we will vote on the amended motion. Thank you, Attorney Bear. And so, do you want to read the motion and then we will take a vote?
Sure.
The amended motion.
Directing staff to add to prioritization for 2019, the issue of parking in the central business district in the context of complete streets planning, including the review of parking meters any regulatory changes, and the study of all parking regulations in the village.
Okay. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Great discussion. Our next item, unless somebody wants to change the agenda?
We can go break.
Yeah.
Sure. Do we need to motion to it? No, correct?
I think that's a chair decision.
Okay, I don't think we need a motion. We'll take a break. I was instructed that I should tell a time to return for the public. So it is now 8:30. Let's return by 8:40 at the latest.
8:30.
8:35. Okay, 8:35. We'll be back.
Sarah, just so you know. I just say.
Stretch. Stretch.
I was always like, did I do my attendance and charges?